Hello world, Liu here, and this is part 13 of the Python from 0 to 1 series. And in the previous video, we learned about how to write a basic for loop and the basics of the range function. Today, we'll do a deeper dive into how the range function actually works. So once again, let's revise how the range function works at the basic level. So for I in range 5, for loop body, I'm going to print I, and if I run this, I'm going to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, range 5 generates the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So once again, it starts at 0 and it ends at the number right before the number we pass in. So because we pass in 5, the numbers will end at 4. So because of this, our for loop will have 5 iterations. And in the first iteration, I will be equals to 0. And in the second iteration, I will be equals to 1. In the third iteration, I will be equals to 2. In the fourth iteration, I will be equals to 3. And in the fifth iteration, I will be equals to 4. And this is why 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is being printed. So similarly, if I change this to 10, range 10 will generate 0 to 9. And if I run this, I'm going to print 0 to 9. So on a basic level, the range function only takes in one argument. However, if we decide to pass in more arguments, our range function will behave in a different manner. So let's get rid of this. So next, if we pass in two arguments in the range, the first argument would be the start argument, and the second argument would be the stop argument. So let's say 1, 2, 5. Here, our range function will start at the start argument and stop right before our stop argument, which means that range 1, 5 will generate numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, and not including 5. So if I run this, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, and 4. So very importantly, the stop argument itself here, which is 5, is excluded. So if I want to generate the numbers from 1 to 5, I have to get rid of 5 and pass in a 6. So if I run this, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So similarly, if I want to generate numbers from 1 to 10, I have to pass in 1 to 11. Here, because 11 itself is not going to be included, our numbers will stop generating at 10. And here we have 1 to 10. So similarly, this works for negative numbers. So let's say minus 3 to 3. So if we run this, we'll get minus 3 to 2. Here, because 3 is excluded, we will not generate 3. So if we want to generate from minus 3 to positive 3, we have to do this. Minus 3 to 4. And only then we will generate minus 3 to positive 3. Next, if we pass in 3 arguments into range, the first argument would be the start argument, the second argument would be the stop argument, and the third argument would be the step argument. So here, start and stop will behave the exact same way. We will start at the start argument and stop right before the stop argument. So not including stop argument. And here, the step argument will dictate how much our numbers will increase by. So here, I'm going to put 1 to 10. And next, I'm going to put in a step of 2. So here, 1, 10, and 2. So this will start generating at 1. And now, because our step is 2, we don't go to 2. Instead, we jump by 2. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So if we run this, we are just going to generate 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So let's say we want to generate 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have to do this. And if we run this currently, we will still not get the answer. Instead, we'll get 2, 4, 6, 8. And this is because 10 is not included in the numbers that will be generated. So if we want to generate 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, we have to add 1 or 2 to that. So let's run this. And here we have it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's put this back to 1. And let's change this to 3. So if I do this, we'll start at 1. And we'll plus 3 at every step. So we will get 1, 4, 7, and 10. So let's run this, and here we have it, 1, 4, 7, and 10. So now let's say we want to get 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way to 100. So similarly, our start will be 10. Our stop will be 101, because if we put 100, 100 itself will not be included, and our step will be 10. So if we run this once again, we'll get 10, 20, 30, and all the way to 100. So one important thing to note is that our step can also be negative. So let's try this. 5, and this is 1. So here, our start is 5, our stop is 1, and our step is negative 1. So what happens is that we'll start at 5, and we'll minus 1 all the way until we reach 2, which is right before 1. So if we run this, we'll get 5, 4, 3, 2. So if we want to generate 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we have to replace this with a 0. And if we run this again, we'll get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So similarly, let's say we want to generate from positive 3 to negative 3. So for our start argument, we just start with 3. And for our end argument, we have to do negative 4. And if we run this once more, we'll get 3 to negative 3. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this was clear and easy to understand. See you in the next one.